All brokers are legally required to publish how many of their traders lose money. Forex.com, 74% of their traders lose. OANDA, 77%. And that's before you count everyone who blew their account and quit. The real number is closer to 95. You already know the stat, but do you actually know why? Which is why today I'm breaking down the 5 specific reasons people fail and how to fix them, backed by real broker data. And by the end, you'll either change how you trade or close this video out and stay a part of that 95% statistic. Let's first talk about where this number actually comes from, because most people just talk about it without knowing the actual source. Brokers in the EU and the US are required by law to disclose how many of their retail accounts lose money. This isn't some influencer stat, this is regulatory data. Forex.com discloses that 74% of their retail accounts lose money. OANDA, 77%. Pull up either site and that warning is required by law, right there in the footer in the website header. So technically the real number is 70 to 80%, not 95. But here's what those stats don't capture. Every person who blew their account and quit, they're not counted as losing because they're not even active in it. They just disappeared. When you factor in those people who gave up, 95% of traders is probably generous. But I don't really care about that exact number. I care about why. And after trading for over 6 years, I can tell you it comes down to 5 things. And every single one of them is fixable, but most people just won't fix them. The first reason, and this is the one that kills more accounts than everything else combined, is your emotions. Let me walk you through exactly how this happens. Because if you've been trading for over a month, you've probably already experienced it. You enter a trade, it runs 50 pips in your favor, it's going good, you're feeling good. Then a small pullback happens, maybe only 10 pips against you, and your brain starts going, what if it reverses? You start getting emotional. You start thinking, what if I lose this profit? So you close the trade out early, and then you watch it run another 100 pips without you. And that frustration is worse than a loss because it mixes with regret. So what do you do on the next trade? You oversize because you think you need to make up for those missed pips that you left on the table. And this time the trade goes completely against you immediately. No pullback, just straight to the red. And now you just lost all of that profit and more. That winning day turned into a red day. And if you're really greedy, you don't want to close that trade, because if you do, it means you're admitting you're wrong. So you just hold it, you hold and hold and hold, and it just keeps going against you. And then guess what? You finally close it out at a massive loss. Like 50% of your account gone just off of one stupid mistake. And now you're angry, so you take another trade immediately. No setup, no plan, just emotion. And that's the revenge trade that usually blows your account. That is usually where the real damage happens. This cycle, greed, fear, frustration, revenge, it repeats until your account is gone. And it has nothing to do with your strategy being bad. Your strategy is probably decent. It could be profitable, but you just keep overriding it. You keep messing it up. The second reason is risk management, or just the complete lack of it. Most traders, they treat every trade like this is the trade. This is the trade that's gonna change my life. So they size up, they go with like 20, 30, even 50% of their account. I've talked to people who've put their whole entire account on a single trade because they were so sure it was going to hit. If you risk 2% per trade, you'd have to lose 50 trades in a row to even blow your account. That's 50 consecutive losses, which is borderline impossible if you actually have a profitable strategy that you studied that has an actual edge. If you don't, you got another problem. But if you're risking 10% per trade, that's 10 losses and you're done. 50% per trade, 2 losses and you're done. And let's not talk about the full port warriors. You lose that trade, your entire account is gone. Professional traders and institutions risk 1 to 5% per trade max. And it's not because they're conservative. You need to survive long enough for your edge to compound over hundreds of trades. If you blow up on trade number 5, let's say, it doesn't matter that trades 12 through 200 would have been banger winning trades. You didn't even give your strategy a chance to see if it was even profitable. Third reason, most traders don't actually have an edge. They just think they do. An edge means your strategy over a large sample of trades, I'm talking about a large sample, makes more money than it does. Not over 5 trades, not over a good week, over hundreds of trades across different market conditions. Most retail traders are using strategies they found in a YouTube video. They watch someone draw 2 to 3 lines on a chart, draw up some pattern, say, oh, if this happens, then I'm taking a trade, and they thought that was a strategy. And those strategies, they might have looked great on 3 cherry-picked examples that the creator actually showed you, but no one showed you the 47 times that same strategy got stopped out before that one was actually a winner. And this is what messes with people. Even a good strategy loses 40 to 60% of the time. A profitable strategy can lose more often than it wins, because the wins are bigger than the losses. And most people will never get to this level of understanding because they switch their strategy 2 weeks. They try something, it loses 3 times in a row, and they automatically assume it's broken. And then they go find a new YouTube video. They never give anything long enough to even prove itself. And by the 3rd day of even learning how to trade, they're already testing out their 4th strategy. Now, reason 4 is overtrading. And this one is dangerous because it disguises itself as work ethic. People wake up at 5 a.m., they're at their desk by 6, they have charts open on their computer, a coffee right next to them, their trading journal right next to them. They feel prepared, professional, and then when the market opens and nothing is happening, no clean setups are there, but they've been sitting there for 3 to 4 hours, they feel the need to take a trade. Because in their head, they're thinking, what was the point of waking up early and staring at the chart this whole time? So they start lowering their standards. And that setup, that's a C+ setup, it starts looking like an A setup in their eyes. And they convince themselves to take the trade, and it obviously doesn't go their way. And they're doing that for a whole entire month, and now they're taking 10 times more trades than they should have. The best traders in the world share one trait that nobody talks about. It's not their strategy, it's not their screen time, it's their ability to do absolutely nothing. Sitting at your desk for 6 hours and taking 0 trades because nothing met your criteria isn't lazy, it's discipline. But most people can't handle it because doing nothing to them feels like failure. But they don't understand that patience is what pays in this game. And reason 5, the markets evolve and most traders don't. The strategy that printed money for them in 2023 might not work in 2025 because volatility changes, correlations shift, liquidity patterns are different depending on global events, interest rates, even the time of the year. All of that affects the market. And most traders learn one playbook and run it into the ground when it stops working. They don't analyze why it stopped working for that moment. They just keep forcing the same entries and blaming the market. The market doesn't owe you consistency. It's going to change whether you like it or not. The question is whether you're willing to change with it. The traders who actually survive in the long term, the ones who are profitable for years on end, treat their strategy like a living document. They review, they adjust, they let the data tell them what's working now, not what worked last year. So I want you to look at those 5 reasons again. Emotions, bad risk management, no edge, overtrading, failure to adapt. Notice something about that list? Every single one is a human problem. Not a market problem, not a strategy problem, a human problem. The market isn't unfair. It's just indifferent, and indifference will eat you alive if you bring emotions to the table. Now here's where I'll be straight with you. After years of dealing with every single one of these exact problems myself, and I'm talking about I made every single mistake on this list, I stopped trying to fix my psychology and started building systems that don't have psychology. That's what led me to automated trading. Not because I wasn't good enough, I was profitable for 6 years, and I got this lifestyle I live today because of it. I'm in my position because of trading. But it's because I realized that the best version of my strategy is the one that executes without me getting in the way. If you want to see what that looks like in practice, I'll put a link right here so you can watch this video of my AI bot in action. There'll also be a link in my description so you can check that out. And I'll be doing a 30-day challenge soon, documenting every single trade the AI takes on my live account. So subscribe to me if you want to see that. But even if automation isn't your thing, fix these 5 problems and you'll be ahead of 95% of traders. I'm being serious. But drop your biggest struggle in the comments. I read every single one of you guys' comments. And subscribe if you want content that actually helps instead of just hyping you up. Hit that like button and turn on your notification ring for the next video. And I'll see you guys on the next one.